Hey guys. So remember when I told you that with this membership, occasionally I would receive something for you and spontaneously deliver it? Well, this is one of those times. So you're just going to have to excuse ahead of time that when I do this, I'm not thinking about what my house looks like. I'm not even thinking about what I look like. I just follow the impulse. In fact, say hi to Frankie, one of my Halloween decorations that my kids love, and say hi to my comfy blanket that I've been using pretty much all day today, which is what I wanted to talk to you about. So, today I noticed that it is an ebb day for me. And I mean that in the context of ebb and flow, right? We've all heard that language before, but perhaps you haven't heard it used in this way because what I'm about to share with you in a hopefully very brief message is about the ebb and flow of our day to day lives as vibrational beings. So we're energetic vibrational beings, and since everything is energy, it stands to reason that our actual daily life moves in that very ebb and flow sort of way. But of course, we're not taught that. Most people aren't aware of that. And even if you are aware of it, you don't really know what to do with it. Or maybe you're super stuck in the way that we've been taught to move about our daily lives, which is typically around like just push through, honor your commitments, follow through, knock off those things on your to-do list, come hell or high water, who cares how you feel, sort of conditioning that we've all been exposed to, such lovely conditioning. Well, being that I am very clear that part of my work in this world is to help flip that paradigm, I'm going to start with one simple part of that concept with you here today. And there's no better day to do it than when I'm in it. Like, this is an ebb day. And what I mean by that is, all of life moves in rhythms and cycles and that natural ebb and flow, like I talked about in this month's masterclass. And that's kind of a concept that's easier to understand in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture of life. Like there's a season for everything, and not just physical seasons, but seasons of our lives. There's the monthly cycle of the moon, there's the monthly cycle of the female anatomy. We kind of understand it from those broader perspectives. But I find it to be especially useful when you can kind of hone in on or narrow it down to our day-to-day life as well as moment-to-moment lives. So essentially, every day has a natural flow of energy, and it can encompass the entire day or part of the day. So what that translates to in sort of human speak is, some days you wake up and you're just like, oh yeah, I got a lot of energy, I got a lot of drive, I'm gonna knock things out, I feel super, tuned in, and I'm in the flow, man. I'm gonna kill this day in a good way. That's odd language. And then some days you wake up and you're just like, I'm not having it. I'm not feeling it. This is a day where I'm probably not going to take off my pajama pants if I have that luxury, and I'm going to keep my nice trusty blanket close by because that's going to be a part of my anatomy today. And there are different variations or different levels of an ebb, just like there are different levels of a flow. So today's example is probably more on the extreme level of an ebb, not entirely all the way over there on that end of the extreme because I feel fine, but let me put it this way in real terms because I find that helps drive home the point the best. So I leave for Banff, Alberta in 2 days for a really awesome conference called the I Am Gathering, which I am a featured speaker in. And I've known about this trip for over a year. I've been so looking forward to it, and of course saving a lot of things for last minute because I'm also in the process of moving. So I've got a lot on my plate. So this day was designated by my brain, by my conscious mind, to knock off a whole bunch of things to get done in preparation for this trip rather. And I woke up this morning and I knew immediately. I was like, no, nope, that's going to shift. I know it's going to shift because I've been at this long enough to recognize it very quickly. And so long story short, I haven't touched my to-do list. There's a bunch of, work tasky stuff. The only things that I've kept on the table were my 2 sessions today, one of which I've already accomplished and the other I have shortly. But other than that, I let the rest go. Now my brain wants to say, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. My brain wants to fight for and justify all the many valid reasons why I need to do this today and how there's no other time and I'm going to let people down. And if I don't do it, my whole world is going to crumble. And again, since I've been at this game a long time, I recognize that voice, those words, to be simply not true. And what I'm going to invite you to do today, because I just want to plant the seed for this, this isn't this sort of aspect to vibrational living or living in alignment. It's not something that you master overnight. In fact, this aspect probably takes maybe the longest time to really understand and integrate and apply consistently. But planting the seed is a really good start, because this is all I'm asking you to do at this point is just observe how your day goes in ebbs and flow, and then I'll tell you what to do with that, the practical application part. So. And mind you, I'm doing this from an ebb, so if I'm not as eloquent as I usually am, you know, that's just it's part of an ebb day. What I want you to understand about the purpose of ebb days, or the purpose of ebb as it pertains to the ebb and flow of life, is that, it's not just about resting. It's not just about self-care and the fact that we need that. We need that because we're in a physical form, and because energy is always moving, we need to have sort of that balance where we're go, 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 but then we have to stop and catch our breaths. Like, yeah, that is a huge part of it. But what most people don't understand is that it's about integration more than anything. And it's about gestation. So everything is energy, and this energy is constantly moving. That's why change is a constant, like I talked about in this month's masterclass. And in order for that energy to take form and do its thing, it has a couple of mechanical components, functions, if you will, to make that happen, just like anything in life. So that sort of productive, go, 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 super jazzed, energized, motivated energy that we all prefer, I think, that has its place, obviously, in getting shit done. But so do the ebbs. So does the ebb energy. But it's less obvious. So while I've been ignoring my to-do list, while I've been soothing my conscious mind by reminding myself that in the doing of nothing, it all gets done. Just relax and it'll all come together. I know this to be true. I've seen the evidence of it more times than I can name for you or for me. So while I'm sitting on the couch and I'm snuggling up with my blanket in between my sessions, while I went back to bed this morning and took a nap just to hit that reset button for myself, a nap at 9 a.m., mind you, energy was moving, energy was doing its thing. Things were getting more deeply integrated in me, and actually was preparing me for what's sure to be a huge energy output, a huge period of flow when I'm in Banff this weekend. I leave in 2 days on Thursday. And from then on, from Thursday to I don't present until Sunday, that's going to be a lot of energy output. And of course, there will be some little ebbs in there where I'm going to have to be very conscious of my energy and take time to just really tend to that. But it's not likely I'm going to have a full day like today. Like this day, there's a reason why I needed to slow down today, because I'm being prepared. The energy is doing its thing. The brain doesn't always know that. We're not taught to look at it that way. So we like to make up all sorts of things about that. Like, I'm a failure, I'm lazy, I'm going to disappoint people, what's wrong with me, like all those tired stories that we have all told ourselves at one point or another. I invite you to stop that, because it's just not true. There's a purpose for everything, And especially when you are practicing alignment actively, as you're learning to do through this membership. And you'll become better and better at, I promise. When you're coming from that space of alignment, that intention of alignment, then that statement really does hold true. Everything has a purpose. Everything will unfold for your highest good, even if it doesn't look like you thought it would or should, such as my Tuesday getting interrupted by my need to rest and gestate and just be. What's likely going to happen is either later on today or tomorrow, I'm going to get just a huge burst of clarity and energy where I knock off everything that I thought I would need 2 days to do to prepare for my trip, and I'm going to get it done in like 2 hours. I guarantee it. This is how it always works. And the things that I end up just letting go were never that important to begin with. The people that I'm going to have to say no to or cancel on, they're going to be relieved. This is how it works. That's part of the vast intelligence of this creative vibrational universe that is orchestrated by the divine that we'll never fully understand. It just, but you can watch it, you can observe it. So here's what I want to offer for you is, I don't know if you're having an ebb day or an ebb moment right now, but I do know that you will at least once this week, if not this very day, because it's just how it works. We're not going to have a full 7 days of go, go, go. That's where people experience burnout because they're not listening to those cues. They're not paying attention to the natural flow of energy. So what I'm first and foremost going to do is invite you to just pay attention. And if you feel like it's a day where you need to go at a slower pace or be quiet or go within or take the day to yourself and ignore your to-do list, do it and see what happens. Like, this is your opportunity to gather some physical evidence for what you're hearing from me, especially if it resonates. First and foremost, pay attention to see if it resonates. I'm unattached to being right. I'm right for me. I don't know if I'll be right for you, but you know. And so if it resonates, then try this approach and then take note. What happens when you embrace that ebb energy rather than condemning it or worse, resisting it? You know, how did that person take it when you canceled on them? What happened to that project when you hit the pause button on it? You know, notice those things and let that physical evidence gather and grow so that this is easier to do. Because again, it's a long game. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon, this aspect to alignment. But I wanted to plant the seed and invite you to just relax into whether you're in the flow or you're in an ebb. It's all good. It's all perfect. The energy is doing its thing. You are completely supported, as am I. So I'm going to take another little cat nap before my 3 p.m. session, and then tomorrow we'll see how it goes preparing for my trip. But okay, if you have any questions or comments or anything, just hit the reply button and share them with me. The Facebook group is in the works. It was on my to-do list for today, and well, it's just not going to get done. So I hope you're patient with that. Okay, we'll talk soon, guys. Bye. Okay, this isn't stopping. Awkward. Okay, here we go.